Now you may be thinking to yourself, this all seems pretty complicated. Well, actually, it really simplifies the process once you get a feel for the VPA flags. And how do you learn about the VPA flags? Well, if you go into the help file and select table of contents, you do a search, you type in VPA. This will bring up volume price analysis. You click on that. Here's the HGSI volume price analysis indicator, and there is a lot of information in here. You do not have to know all this. What you do want to ultimately learn is down at the bottom, and these are the VPA flags themselves. And it's down here under volume price analysis, VPA indicator flag guide. But what's great about HGSI is you don't have to refer to this all the time. If you really want confirmation on what these VPA flags are and how they are produced, yes, you can come in here. But the beauty of it, and I'll use the same chart, is all that information is contained in the chart. If I put my crosshair in this area right here, well, I'll do it right here on this square. This tells me that on 5/31/17 the volume was 214,000 and the VPA flag that was being generated is strength seen returning after a downtrend. So here is where there was oversupply and we are starting to see some strength returning. And then the next day I just moved to that VPA indicator, and this is on the 1st of June. This is an up bar closing near its high, which confirms the return of strength. So this candle is confirming the VPA flag from the prior day. And remember, that was strength seen returning after a downtrend. And this confirmation is confirming that that strength was returning. We had identical signals here too. Went up for a few days, came back down and tested. But notice that support held through here on this stock, even though the group was just going sideways. In addition to the VPA information being right in here, we get information about the volume, less than average. The spread was narrow at that point, which means that there wasn't a tremendous amount of volume. The close, though, on the candle was very high, and the sentiment turned bullish. Now, looking further down here, I do not use the RWI major trends. That's a random walk indicator, which is somewhat complicated to explain, but I do use the best fit trend longs, and you can see that they were all still down at this point. Now, as I move this to the right, I want you to keep your eye over here. It's down at this point. And as I move over 2 days, notice, or actually 1 day from this point, notice that the short-term trend turned up. And as I keep moving over, the medium-term trend also turned up. And as I keep going, I don't think well, it did. The long-term trend did turn up. So now I know that the stock is trending up. And you can see that it remained in an uptrend. And then as it fell here on this sharp move down on relatively heavy volume, the short-term trend moved down, but the medium-term trend didn't move down until here. The long-term trend is still up, and you can see these trends changing all the time. Now, at this point, the long-term trend has remained up throughout this period over here. So what I'm telling you is there is a lot of information about VPA built right into the charts. Very helpful information. And when you see these flags, you're going to get an explanation by clicking on them. I like to look at these magenta rectangles because these are always low volume tests. In other words, the volume is light and the stock or security ETF, whatever you're looking at, is closing in the upper part of its daily range. So there is some buying support there. And a few days later, we had this big move up. Here's another low volume test, but the demand was not there as the group fell. Now, Over here we're getting multiple VPA flags. Here's a no supply flag. This is a strength scene returning once again, and another strength scene returning as it held in this area and then it started moving up with the group. VPA can be very helpful, and we can do all kinds of screens on these both bullish and bearish VPA flags.